may be stuck in quarantine at this time.
You're watching Fox 17 News on air and streaming until 7 p.m.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Doug Reardon.
And I'm Annie Satowski. A West Michigan woman who spent months of her childhood in near isolation due to having polio is now reaching out to people going through similar situations with coronavirus.
Yeah, Michael Martin talked to her this afternoon about how her experience with polio mirrors what's going on now with COVID-19.
At just 7 years old, Jenny Wood Shangra spent almost 2 months inside Mary Free Bed, and much of that time alone. But she says she came out of the ordeal a stronger person. And now she hopes that those of us stuck at home with the coronavirus can take a similar optimistic approach.
Every generation has its challenges. And we as humans need to understand these challenges help us become stronger.
Jenny Wood Shangra grew up in a West Michigan not worried about COVID-19, but polio. As a baby, she contracted the virus.
Polio was just like the COVID in that you could spread it.
Eventually, it started to stunt the growth of her right leg.
Staples in my left leg to stunt the growth. So it would catch up. So my right bad leg with polio could catch up.
But around age 7, doctors found water developing on one of her knees. She was then admitted to Mary Free Bed, where she spent about 2 months.
We were in wards. So the girls who were in one ward with about 11 to 12 girls in one room, and about 11 to 12 boys on the other end. Were we alone? No. Did we spend a lot of time talking to each other? Not really, because they all had a different disease.
It was the height of the polio epidemic, and Jenny was learning to be alone with her thoughts in the girls' ward.
So was it very lonely? Oh, yes, very, very lonely.
But she says she quickly picked up some effective coping skills.
You have to have a hobby. And you have to not look inward, but look outward all the time, as much as you can. I would count the holes in the ceiling tiles when I was a kid. There was always something going on that would entertain me.
Jenny says these are skills that people could benefit from now if they're struggling with being alone.
I learned to be creative during when I was bored. And those are the takeaways. We will survive this. We are getting coping mechanisms. You can be alone and find new outlets for yourself.
Jenny's doing well these days, just uses a wheelchair to get around, but she's also taking the time to make cards and embroidered butterflies for patients that are currently dealing with COVID-19. For more info, check out our web article at Fox 17 online. For now, though, in Grand Rapids, Michael Martin.